about being authentic, the beauty in authenticity, the beauty in being yourself. And I want to speak on this because in today's age, I feel like it's just a lot of insecure people, and it's a lot of people trying to portray a certain image, or just trying to be somebody that they're not, or just trying to like have this certain type of persona. And I can understand why, but especially now that there's like a lot of AI going on and it's getting harder to tell who's real and who's not, I feel like now is like the perfect time to really just be okay with expressing who you really are and just living in your true self and your true authenticity and just fully embracing it. And I know it can be hard because we are our own biggest critics. We have insecurities and we see flaws in ourselves that other people probably don't even see. And I guess that's what drives people to try and become somebody or act like somebody that they're not. And a lot of people do it to be liked. And honestly, I can tell you right now that if you're trying to get people to like you by pretending to be somebody that you're not, you're honestly making things worse, because when people see, like, people can tell when you're not, for the most part, people can tell when you're just not being authentic and genuine, when you're forcing a personality, or when you're just forcing something. 9 times out of 10 people can tell, like, people can sense that, people can feel that, and it's really gonna make them, in some cases it's gonna just make them not like you, because they're gonna look at you and be like, this person's not genuine. Like, why are they trying to force a personality and trying to be somebody that they're not? Like, why are they doing that? Whole time you have a great personality. The whole time there's nothing wrong with you. The whole time it's not really anything that you need to change about yourself. You're just really hard on yourself because you feel like the places that you feel like you lack, you try to make up for it and trying to have these certain qualities. Maybe like if you know people like people that are funny, you try to go out your way to be funny. But it's just like, there's nothing worse than when you can tell somebody is trying to be funny, because it's people who are just naturally funny, and then there's people who just try too hard to be funny, and then it just makes it even worse, because it's just like, one, I know you're trying, and then it's still not funny, like, so it's even worse then. Like, so my point is, being yourself is always going to be the best option, because at the end of the day, you'll want people in your life that are going to like you for you. They're going to like your personality. They're going to like all the little quirks and insecurities or flaws that you may think you have. They're going to like that. And you're going to feel accepted, and you're going to feel loved, and you're going to realize how you don't have to try and be somebody else for people to like you. Because there's people out there that are going to be able to, when you're being your authentic self, people are just going to naturally gravitate towards you. The people that are meant to be in your life are going to naturally gravitate towards you, and you're not going to have to force anything. Anything that you have to force, I don't want to say anything that you have to force, because some things you do have to force. Like when it comes to just like actions, as far as like having discipline and being consistent, those things you got to force. But when it comes to like other people, having friends, like friendships, relationships, things like that, you don't want to force, because when you try to force those types of things, sometimes it might end up being one-sided, or it ends up being like unhealthy. Any healthy relationship is not going to have to be forced. Any healthy friendship is not going to have to be forced. So when you see that you can attract great people into your life and great things, great opportunities, just from simply being your true self, it's gonna be such a great feeling, because you're like, wow, like I never really had to be somebody that I'm not. I never had to, like, you can always improve. There's always room for improvement, but that doesn't mean you have to completely change who you are. You can better yourself. You can still remain the same person, but just become a better version of yourself. Like I was saying, I feel like I kind of got off point, and I tend to do that a lot, I feel like. AI people. There's a lot of AI people on social media. And a lot of the non-AI people are getting frustrated because it's at a point where now we can't even tell if a person is real, a real human, or if it's the AI person, because the AI people look so much like humans now. But here's where the authenticity comes in. The beauty of being yourself, because the AI person can replicate like the image of a human, but they can't truly replicate the actual experiences of a human, because they don't have human experiences, because they're not real. So it's just like, it's easier to connect with people. Like, a lot of people are just looking for somebody they can connect with, somebody they can feel like that they have things in common with. And it's just like, you can think that you have things in common with this AI person before you find out that they're AI. But once you realize, because I feel like eventually all the people that see AI people and they think they're humans, eventually they're going to find out that that's not a real human and that it's an AI person. And then that's going to kind of damage the trust, because y'all might have had things in common, or the things that they talk about might be relatable to you. It's not going to matter anymore. Like, it's not going to be meaningful anymore, because it's not real. Like, none of it is real. But with you, it's real. And real is special. Especially now, because it's so much like fakeness. I don't know if fakeness is a word, but it's just so much fake. Now, real is like gold. Being real is gold. Because I watch the YouTubers that I love to watch. It's just like, I love to watch them because, I mean, for different reasons, but in a way, it all comes down to just being like relatable and being human. Like, you're real. You're a real person. You go through real experiences. You share your real life experiences, and people can relate to that, and people can connect with that. And that's what makes you special. Because although there might be people out here that may look like you, or might sound like you, or might have similar experiences to you, but at the end of the day, there's not another you. And that's what makes you special. And you might think sometimes that, well, why would people want to watch my videos? It's just like, I feel like at a certain point, you gotta start asking, why wouldn't people want to watch my videos? Like, I'm real. You know, I'm authentic. I'm just talking about whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to do. Just be yourself. And when it comes to being yourself, you gotta not just love yourself, but you gotta like yourself as well. Like and love yourself enough to know. You gotta like and love yourself enough to know that it doesn't really matter. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if people like you. You gotta like yourself, because it doesn't matter if 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people like you. If you don't like yourself, none of that's gonna matter. Like, all of that cancels out if you don't even like yourself. Because when you like yourself, that's where the confidence comes in. And once you know yourself, like yourself, you love yourself, you radiate confidence. And like I was saying, the people that's meant to be in your life are gonna just gravitate towards you. You don't really have to do much, but be you. And that's just the beauty of it. And it's just like, worrying about outside factors, like things that you can't control, like whether people like you or not, is stressful. Life is already stressful. Why would you want to add more stress on top of just life? The stress of worrying about if people are gonna like you. Like, I'm a big advocate for not stressing over things that you can't control, because it's pointless. And I know it's easier said than done. And I haven't perfected it yet, but when you stress over things that you can't control, I like to try to get over it very quickly, because I know that it's pointless. It's pointless to stress over things you can't control. So you can, instead of doing that, try to put that energy into focusing on something that you can't control. But like I said, I know that's easier said than done. But my point is, once you finally realize that liking yourself and loving yourself is what really matters, you're gonna see how unimportant it really is if other people like you. Like whether or not other people like you, you're gonna really see. If you don't see it right now, you're gonna see how much that truly does not matter. So, like me, these videos that I'm posting, I mean, I don't want to say I don't care, but like, I'm not overly worried about whether or not people are gonna like my videos or subscribe or anything, because that's not in my control. What I'm really focused on is just making the video and just posting it and just going on about my day. If something is meant to come from that, then something's gonna come from it. And I mean, that would be great, but it is what it is. Like you just gotta kind of go with the flow of life in a way. Like still have a plan, still have goals, ambitions, things that you want to accomplish, but at the same time, don't be too hard on yourself, and just try not to just stress over things that you truly can't control, because that's just gonna be a strain on your mental and then eventually on your physical too. So it's just like, just make your life a little bit easier and just try to work on that. Like I said, it's easier said than done, so just try to slowly work on that. And if that's something that you're struggling with, just continue being yourself, because it's billions of people in this world. There are going to be people who will listen to you and will want to talk to you and will relate to you. You're going to have things in common with people, because it's billions of people in this world. So it's always people out there who are going to see you and hear you and understand you. You just got to put yourself out there and know yourself and be brave enough to be yourself, because being yourself definitely does take courage, but it's worth it. Being yourself will always pay off at the end of the day. It'll bring amazing people into your life, and it'll open doors that you just could never have imagined, opportunities that you could have never imagined. And that's what comes with being yourself and putting yourself out there and being brave. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today, and I'll see you in the next one.